We talk a lot about yourself. So I think you're a musician, yes.
Yeah, well, I'm a passionate music fan, and I do play music. Yeah.
And I know that you play bass very well, and play a little bit piano.
Yeah.
Yes. And when did you start play the bass?
I got a bass guitar. Well, my brother got a bass guitar when I was 12,
12.
and I started playing it when I was about 13. And I just gravitated towards it.
Can you tell us how many bands you joined?
Oh, well, I've played in loads over the years, but the specific times I was playing in bands were my early 20s in Nottingham, and then really the last 10 years in Tyne and Wear.
Good.
Yeah, so in the last 10 years I played in two main bands. One was a hip-hop band, originally called Big Beat Bronson. Check them out on YouTube.
Okay, good.
And then called The Great and the Magnificent. And we did some great gigs. We played the Tea in the Park Festival on the BBC stage.
Do you have fans when you're in a band?
The last band I was in, the hip-hop band, I was really surprised had a following, yeah. And they weren't following me, I have to say. They were following the rest of the band. I was just playing bass for them, you know. But yes, you would see the same faces at gigs.
Can you share the most exciting live show in your band life?
I don't know. I mean, when I was much younger and playing festivals for the first time, that was very exciting, scary. And then I stopped playing live, and I thought I would never do that again. And then when I joined bands again in my early 40s, the hip-hop band started to get big stages and bigger stages.
Yeah.
So I could really appreciate it. But we did a festival called the Secret Garden Party about 3 years ago. It's a great festival, I mean, a really good festival. And we went on after a reggae DJ called the Mad Professor, who I've been a passionate fan of for years. So that was really, really joyful to do that and see the Mad Professor from behind the stage, actually watch him performing, you know.
I really want to know, did you ever get any support from your family, from your friends? What's the most impression things?
I suppose I got support when I was a kid from my parents as well. There used to be a piano in the house, so I started playing the piano in the house. So I was encouraged to play it. So music was always encouraged. I think when you get into to be a teenager, it's more about rebellion music. It's all about not getting encouragement from your parents, but getting encouragement from the group of people you're with. So I was encouraged to do that by my peer group when I was a teenager.
On your 50s, you decided to go back to university.
I did.
Yeah, you go to the Newcastle University and start to your master degree.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the people at your age, I think most of them maybe consider about their retired life, but you never. You also start doing something new and also continue your music career. So I want to know what always encourage you try something new and keep going.
I said before, if you're drawn to music, it controls you.
Yeah.
You don't, I don't really have much control about that. If I hear a piece of music or a piece of music comes in my head, it's all about me really. So it's such a personal thing. It always has been, you know.
Good.
And I worked when I left university originally for a few years in offices doing database management and writing databases for people. And I just found it very, very dull.
Yeah.
Very, very boring.
Very boring. Yeah.
There was no way I felt that I could leave that work and become a musician, a full-time musician now, because, most musicians do it for fun, and there's only a tiny percentage get paid for doing it.
Yeah.
An even smaller percentage get paid so they can make a living out of it.
Yes.
And actually, although I carried on playing music throughout my 30s, late 20s and 30s, I never thought I would ever join bands again. So it was a real joy when I was in my 40s to go back to it and see it from a different perspective.
Good.
Because when you're young, I don't know, you can't really appreciate things in the same way. Well, I could appreciate it more as a 45-year-old than I could as a 20-year-old, put it that way.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.